Israel Defense Forces, IDF, has confirmed that the Middle East country soldiers carried out massive airstrikes on multiple locations in Yemen capital of Sanaa on Sunday, while Nasruddin Amer, the chairman of Yemen's Saba news agency and the vice president of the media authority of Ansar Allah Movement that has Houthis group as one of its organizations, said the air defenses were able to thwart the majority of the Israeli attacks and confronted several of its combat formations, which he said forced Israeli soldiers to retreat, with the Houthis fighters using locally manufactured air defense systems. According to Israel Defense Force, multiple military targets belonging to the Houthi terrorist regime in Sanaa, Yemen, including a military site in which the presidency palace is located, the Adar and Hazaz power plants, and a site for storing fuel, all used for the military activity of the Houthi regime. These strikes were carried out in response to repeated Houthi attacks on Israel with missiles and UAVs. The Houthis, backed by Iran, continue to exploit civilian infrastructure for terror purposes. News agencies reported that Israel launched the airstrikes in Yemen's capital Sanaa, hitting areas near the presidential complex and missile bases, with additional strikes reported in Hodeidah. It was gathered that Israel carried out the strikes in response to days of attempted Houthi drone and ballistic missile attack against Israel. A young man from Delta State in the oil-rich Niger Delta region in Nigeria has been arrested after he conspired with his friend to fake a kidnapping to get money from his family in order to be able to travel abroad. The young man was seen in a video the alleged kidnapper sent to his family, threatened to be killed with a cutlass placed on his neck by the suspected fake kidnapper, who is also a native and indigene of Delta State but faked his voice to sound like an Hausa Fulani man from northern Nigeria. According to one of the popular human rights activists against insecurity in the West Africa country, Harrison Gwamnashu, the two suspects were arrested inside the bush after intelligence gathering indicated that the kidnapping was not genuine, adding that they were not mobilized by Senator Ned Munir Nwoko, the senator representing Delta North Senatorial Zone, who had said in a press statement that the father of the supposed victim, together with two members of the Idemuje Ugboko community, reached out to me. I also spoke with the victim's brothers, as well as the police in Isale, Uku and Saba. In addition, I contacted and mobilized the Idemuje Ugboko vigilante group and held discussions with my police contacts in Saba, giving clear instructions to track the kidnappers and ensure the safe rescue of the victim. Throughout the operation, I received tracking updates and was kept informed of the rescue movements from Saba to Isale. Anambra State Governor, Professor Charles Chukwuma Soludo, has dismissed 8 members of the state special vigilante group known as Aganekemba after the sacked security operatives were seen in a now viral video allegedly assaulting a female National Youth Service Corps (NYSC) member, Jennifer Elabor, to the level of complete nakedness after they torn her clothes and continued assaulting her even when they observed during the process nothing more was covering any part of her body. This, the dismissed vigilantes did after they allegedly chased some young men on motorcycles they claimed were members of a secret cult to the victim's compound at Oba community in Idemili South local government area of Anambra State on July 23, 2025. According to the state television station, Anambra Broadcasting Service, ABS, the Anambra State government, through the Aganekemba Security Command, has dismissed 8 of her operatives for their involvement in the brutal assault and public stripping of a corps member, Miss Jennifer Elabor. The dismissed operatives will be handed over to the police for immediate prosecution. Speaking at the agency headquarters in Awka, the special advisor to Governor Chukwuma Soludo on community security, Mr. Kenemikai, said the state government acted swiftly after receiving reports that the operatives, while in pursuit of suspected cultists on July 23, 2025 assaulted corps members, and Comfort Emanson Bob, the 26-year-old female passenger that was recently seen on viral video allegedly attacked and provoked to action, has said that she sustained injuries in her private part when a yet-to-be-identified IBOM air staff pulled off her shirt and exposed her nakedness at Lagos Airport. This, According to Comfort, the shirt torn while she was being carried out from the aircraft was her inner wear that was pinned together below her private part, saying, the IBOM air hostess had allegedly broke her phone, necklace and forcefully removed her wig hair from her head, which caused her a severe sharp pain, and as a result of the pain, she hit the air hostess on the cheek, adding, she became more aggressive when she saw the airport staff video recording her nakedness while she was battling to cover her body as a result of her shirt that was torn with her chest sexual organs completely exposed. Comfort Emanson gave her own side of the story in an 11-minute video she posted on her Instagram profile on Sunday, August 17, 2025, which was exactly after 1 week the incident occurred. She said she was the one who begged the co-passenger to help switch off her phone when the plane was about to take off at Uyo Airport, contrary to the narratives painted by IBOM Air Management that she refused to switch off her phone and a co-passenger on board the plane forcefully took the phone from her and switched it off, and thereafter, Comfort Emanson engaged the co-passenger and the leaders of the Nigeria affiliates of Al-Qaeda International Terrorist Group, known as Ansar and Mahmouda, have been captured by men of the Armed Forces of Nigeria, AFN, after 2 months of intelligence-led special operations in northern Nigeria. The West African nation National Security Advisor, Nuhu Rabadu, stated this at a press conference with the nation's security chiefs, saying, the 2 arrested suspected terrorists leaders have cells across the country where they have been executing various crimes of armed robbery in addition to raise funds for the terrorist activities. Details of the public announcement as stated by Nuhu Rabadu and made available by the office of the spokesperson to the Nigeria president, Bayo Onanuga, on Saturday reads verbatim below. Nigeria dismantles terror groups, Ansar and Mahmouda, with the capture of their leaders. Nigeria has recorded a significant breakthrough in the war against terrorism with the capture of the leaders of Ansar and Mahmouda. At a press briefing on Saturday evening, the National Security Advisor, Malam Nuhu Rabadu, said the 2 terrorists on the wanted list of Nigeria, the US, UK and UN were captured in an operation which was conducted between May and July 2025. He said the men were captured in a high-risk, intelligence-led, counter-terrorism operation which led to their capture. They are leaders of Jama'atu Ansar al-Muslimina fi Baladis. Following the meeting of President Vladimir Putin of Russia and President Donald Trump of the United States on Friday in Alaska, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky has said he knows the treachery of President Putin, that, in the coming days, Russia's soldiers may try to increase pressure and strikes against Ukrainian positions in order to create more favorable political circumstances for talks with global actors. Zelensky made this statement some hours ago while stating that Ukrainian soldiers have achieved some successes in Donetsk region, especially in the areas of Dobropilya and Pokrovsk, then ordered the Commander-in-Chief, Oleksandr Syrsky, to speak with combat commanders that Ukraine needs strong positions and truly tangible resistance to the enemy. In his words, Zelensky said, I received a report from Commander-in-Chief Oleksandr Syrsky. The front, the defense of positions, and up-to-date information on the intentions and movements of the Russian army. We are defending our positions along the entire front line, and for the second day in a row, we have achieved successes in some extremely difficult areas in the Donetsk region, in the direction of Dobropilya and Pokrovsk. In particular, I want to commend the units of the 1st Corps of the National Guard of Ukraine, Azov, the units of the 7th Corps of the Air Assault Forces, the units of the 38th Separate Marine Brigade named after Hetman Petro Sahednik. There is still no peace in sight after nearly 3 hours of meeting held in Anchorage City in Alaska, a state in the United States, US, between President Vladimir Putin of Russia and President Donald Trump of the United States, over the war Russia launched since 2022 in Ukraine, which has led to thousands of deaths, mostly Ukrainians, which President Volodymyr Zelensky of Ukraine, who was not invited for the meeting on Friday, in a statement said that it was time to end the war but Russia must take the necessary steps to a genuine peace deal. And while commenting on the statement made by the President of Poland, Karol Nawrocki, on Friday via X social media platform to mark Poland Armed Forces Day, which coincided with the day Putin and Trump met in Alaska, President Zelensky said that, Ukraine's independence strengthens Poland's independence, and we must always remember that the miracle on the Vistula was made possible through joint efforts, and it saved Europe, and the Polish president, Karol Nawrocki, had said that, "Today we celebrate the 105th anniversary of the great Polish victory at the Battle of Warsaw in 1920, the Polish army, together with Ukrainian forces, successfully repelled the Red Army's westward march, safeguarding Europe from a communist revolution. For centuries, Russian imperialism has been a mortal threat to our freedom. Poland's political tradition teaches that Russian expansionism rests on a legacy of domestic co-contestants in the last concluded general elections in Nigeria, and former governor of Anambra State, Peter Obi, has faulted President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's trip to Brazil and also condemned the president's frequent travel abroad at any slightest invitation, and abandoned pressing issues of insecurity and other deplorable situations that make the nation bleeds. Specifically, Peter Obi said, "The situation we find ourselves in is deeply worrisome. Our president, who has not found it worthy to visit any of our troubled states, takes joy in traveling to foreign countries at the slightest invitation or excuse, often departing several days even before the events he's invited to." The presidency had in a statement on Wednesday said that President Bola Tinubu will depart Abuja on Thursday, August 14th, for a two-nation trip to Japan and Brazil. The president will stop over in Dubai, United Arab Emirates, before proceeding to Japan. In Japan, President Tinubu will attend the 9th Tokyo International Conference on African Development, TICAD9, in the city of Yokohama from August 20th to 22. With the theme, Co-Create Innovative Solutions with Africa, TICAD9 will focus on Africa's economic transformation and improvements in the business environment and institutions through private investment and innovation. It will also promote a resilient and sustainable African society for Federal government of Nigeria under the leadership of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has ordered the Commissioner of Police in charge of Lagos Airport to withdraw the one-sided and obviously biased court case the Nigeria police force may have wrongly instituted against an Ibom Air passenger, Comfort Emanson, who was seen in viral videos retaliating and defending herself physically after a group of Ibom Air personnel and Lagos Airport team had attacked her and provoked her to action. The FG position on the issue was made known by the Nigeria Minister of Aviation, Festus Keyamo, in a press release the minister signed and made available few minutes ago, although Festus Keyamo reversed himself and acknowledged that the issue was a case of confrontation between the 26-year-old passenger and the staff of Ibom Airlines, who in the new press release admitted that the staff of Ibom Air and the Lagos Airport Authority team acted wrongly, but the minister did not state how the attacked passenger would be compensated, most especially when her chest sexual organs were seen to be deliberately exposed after a suspected Ibom Airlines staff pulled off and tore the passenger shirt with obvious intention to expose the passenger's nakedness. The action of the federal government may ease the tension among millions of people who have accused the Nigeria police force of aiding and abetting the Ibom Airline company to continue to attack and oppress the offended passenger. Comfort Bob, who is Nigeria Aviation Minister, Festus Keyamo, says the ministry has directed for the aviation staff who released the video footage containing the aspect of an Ibom Airlines passenger, Comfort Emanson or Bob, seen in an indecent appearance with her chest sexual organs exposed after the passenger shirt was torn by an Ibom Airlines staff, while security operatives were seen in the viral video dragging the aggrieved passenger out of the aircraft following an act of confrontation between the passenger and Ibom Airlines hostesses, which one of the hostesses blocked the right of way of the passenger and prevented the passenger from disembarking from the plane. And after countless warning to the airline passenger to leave the road, the passenger went physical with the hostess by allegedly slapping her on the face, which the confrontation with the hostess apparently led to the alleged destruction of the plane divider cotton, which Ibom Airlines valued at $2,500 as stated in count 5 of the 5-count charges the police filed against the passenger at Ikeja Magistrate Court in Lagos State. The aviation minister, Festus Keyamo, who described the behavior of the passenger as unruly, said, although the airline staff is right to video record the event of the passenger's behavior for the purpose of legal action, but it is totally unacceptable for the staff to release part of the video that exposed the passenger's nakedness, especially her breasts. Details of the minister's statement reads verbatim: a careful study of the viral video involving the IBOM airline personnel, Lagos airport security operatives and an aggrieved passenger, Comfort Emanson on board the airline plane on Sunday indicated that while the enraged passenger was being dragged off the plane by three men, who held her two hands and legs, suspending her a little bit on the air, a lady putting on IBOM Air corporate clothes who was behind the camera lens could be seen in the video to have approached the passenger at the door point of the plane while the passenger was about to be taken out, apparently dipped her hand towards the waist part of the passenger, untucked the passenger shirt from the trousers, grabbed and pulled the passenger's shirt towards her head, and in the process, the passenger shirt got tore and the passenger's chest, sexual organs or private parts were completely exposed. The action of the IBOM airline staff appeared to be deliberate, as the airline female staff was not part of those dragging the passenger off the aircraft, and after the female passenger's body was exposed, the IBOM Airlines female staff never joined or assisted the security operatives to drag the passenger off the plane. This indicated that the motive of the female staff of IBOM Airline was solely to remove the passenger shirt and expose the aggrieved airline passenger to ridicule. The video of the passenger's partial nakedness, especially her two breasts completely exposed due to the apparent action of a yet-to-be-arrested and prosecuted female staff of IBOM management of National Youth Service Corps under the leadership of Brigadier General Olukunle Nafiu, has given reasons why a serving Nigeria Youth Corps member, Ashie Rita Agwemaye, was denied NYSC discharge certificate that could have enabled her exit the one-year mandatory program after she completed the one-year paramilitary service to her nation as a new graduate, and, according to a statement posted and made available by NYSC on Sunday, with no name of the authority responsible for the press statement written or mentioned in the statement, the NYSC said Corps member Rita Agwemaye's discharge certificate was withheld and her service year extended by 2 months following her alleged absence or failure to attend the April 2025 NYSC biometrics clearance at Etiosa Local Government Area Secretariat, and the month stated by NYSC was barely few days after the Corps member had cried out loud in the month of March 2025 over the apparent increasing high rates of hunger as a result of rising costs of living in Nigeria, and as such, she described the president, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, as a terrible president. In a swift reaction to the reason given by NYSC, Rita Agwemaye's lawyer, Barrister Anibahe Efyoung, while answering questions from channel's television program presenters on Monday morning, said, the statement issued by the management of the
bringing you the news in a more digital way.